Hey everyone, I am back today. You get to see me in all of my glory, nicely makeupless, all in the name of self-love. That was a hashtag. Because sometimes self-love and self-care comes in the form of just not giving up. I fell down today in my driveway because it's a total sheet of ice and I busted my kneecap. So I just am not caring today about anything except for myself. I want to show you this traveler's notebook that I made using the Papercakes collection Radical Love, which is stinking adorable. Oh my gosh, I'm just like obsessed. Little fists. It says self-love. I said it on Instagram. I made this big gushing post, so just check it out. You can look at my Instagram or look at the Papercakes one. I'll link it because she shared my post, but I was gushing about it because she did such an amazing job. Serena, you hit the nail on the head, girlfriend. One of the things I love about this paper in particular is her use of multiple skin tones. See, that little thing right there was just like, can we just all give her a round of applause for just a second? All right, so also the butts. Are you kidding me with these little butts? They're so cute. Anyways, I've been really wanting to, because I'm a mom, and even people who aren't moms definitely have this issue where we put other people ahead of us. And as a mom, I kind of don't really have a choice but to always be taking care of, you know, Nadia and Natasha, who is laying right there looking like she's about to scream at me if I don't pick her up here in a minute. Oh, no, she's entertained by her toes. But anyways, I always put myself on the back burner. You know, that's just what happens, but it adds up, and over time I start to go like, feel like I'm gonna explode because I'm not taking care of myself. I also have some like issues, like body issues and stuff. I think a lot of women do. I'm glad that we're starting to talk about these things more, but I feel like, you know, we still have a lot of work to do, and a lot of the work, it's not on social media talking about it. It's not, you know, it is and it isn't, but a lot of the work has to be done at home, you know, with yourself. Actually, I just had a conversation with Serena the other day, and I was, if I'm full disclosure, I was saying that I just felt so down about my inability to lose the baby weight. And for starters, it has only been 3 months, so like chill, Mary Beth, you know. But she said to me, she says, you know, we have to start loving ourselves right where we are, not when we lose 25, 30 pounds or whatever it is, like not then, but start loving yourself now. And it doesn't mean don't work on it. It just means love yourself right where you are. And I've been really wanting to focus on stuff like that. So for me, a traveler's notebook is the perfect thing to use this collection for. To make just a special book just for me, where I can just put in here all of the ways that I'm taking care of myself. That might come in the form of exercise. It might come in the form of fueling my body with the right foods. And sometimes I do have to write those things down. And I'm not talking about some like beat yourself up type of diet where if you don't lose this amount by this date, you know, you consider yourself a failure. I mean an ongoing daily practice of not starving myself, not overeating, but eating the healthy, right things. And sometimes I have to keep track of things like that. It makes me feel good, you know, it makes me feel really good to do that. And sometimes it makes me feel good to just eat a cupcake too, like, and that's totally okay. So, but on the other hand, there's also some practices that I want to do where I do take photographs. I'm a photographer, but I want to take photographs of, this might sound weird, but I want to take photographs of the areas of my body that I don't like, because I want to start to like them. And I want to see them in a different light with a different perspective. And I want to really just like practice looking at myself differently. I mean, I don't know how else to say it, but I'm really going to be documenting a lot of things in here. So I want to show you how I made it. Just full disclosure, once again, if I haven't said this a million times already, and I probably actually haven't because people still ask, I'm not a tutorial channel, so if you're looking for tutorials for things, that ain't gonna happen because that's just not my style. However, However, I can link you to the people who have tutorials that have made stuff like this. This isn't a new idea by any stretch of the imagination, but I really wanted to do it with this paper collection because it's just, it would be such a waste if I didn't. I can link you to the tutorial that I follow to make these, but I'll also show you what I did to kind of change it and make it a little bit different, differently. So anywho, that's pretty much what I want to say about why I made this. So why don't I just take you inside, show you what I did, and then kind of just show you how I put it together. And maybe, just maybe you'll make one too. And start your self-care journey with me using this paper collection. I mean, seriously, it's just too perfect. Have I said it? Have I said it enough? Come on, the stinking butts, they're so cute. Okay, so here's my traveler's notebook. Excuse me for the sniffles. This is the next day, by the way. Here is my traveler's notebook finished. I finally put some finishing touches on it because I wasn't really pleased with how it turned out yesterday. I knew it needed more, and there we go. So, okay, so first I followed that tutorial that I will link. It's just here on YouTube, super easy. It's a B6 size. You just need a laminator, paper, and here is how I did it. So because when you print out the papers as they are, they're in a portrait orientation. So I needed to print landscape so that it would be, you know, this direction. Enough paper to go that way. So I just simply flipped it before I printed it. Easy. Anyways, so the only difference between the B6 size and this one is the fact that the B6 size, you actually are supposed to cut it to like 11 1/4. Now, since I used 8.5 by 11 paper to print on, I didn't have that extra 1/4 inch on the edge, so I cut it. I'm looking, hold on, sorry. I have my cheat sheet here. 7 1/4, this is 11. So I cut it 7 1/4 this way, kept it at 11. And using my scoreboard to make the spine, I scored it at 5. I actually did 1/4 inch scoring on here, but you don't even have to really do that. If you just do score it at 5, 5.5, and 6, then that's perfect. So, so yeah, then I scored it. I ran it through my laminator. While I was doing that, I actually laminated a couple other things that I wanted to do here, such as I wanted a front pocket. So that's another difference between this one and the tutorial I followed. I wanted like a front pocket like you would find in some other traveler's notebooks or planners. So what I did was I cut one sheet of paper here that was the same as the cover, so 7 1/4 and then 3 inches across. So it's a piece of 3 by 7 1/4, and then this little piece here for this other pouch, I wanted a see-through type of pocket like this. So so for that I actually did. Honestly, can I be honest? I don't measure things. I just wing everything I do. So this might not be like the best tutorial, quote unquote, to follow. Just I eyeball things. So I want to say this is about 4. I'll say this is about 4 inches by 3. So it's probably 3 by 4. And then to make the see-through little area here, because I find it easier to do this way, I took it back to my scoreboard and I scored 1/2 inch around each side. So I kept flipping it and just scored 1/2 inch so that I knew where to cut it. So then I just took my X-Acto knife or whatever, and then I just cut out that little area there. So not very difficult at all. So I then just ran that all through my laminator in just separate pieces, and I decided to tape that on after. So to actually tape it on, I used score tape, and I find it to be very, very good for stuff like this. There's probably some other trick that you can do. I know that like for the back of this, I made a back pocket in here. that's just the clear. And for that, you can use a whole other laminating piece and make sure that you put that shiny side down in the pouch before you run it through. So there's tutorials all over the place for stuff like this. So I'm not necessarily going to go through the details of how to do that, because I promise you can find them, and I'll link the channel where I kind of got these ideas. So it's, her name's what, Bona? Thank you so much for that. But anyways, that's it. I just put it together using score tape and it worked out perfectly fine. So yeah, I punched holes here on the edges like so, and then just strung the elastic through. So that's the other step, is string the elastic through, and that requires me to do it like 5 times before I get it right, because I never know how to start it. I always forget every single time. So I, had to go back to the tutorial and figure that one out again as well. I don't know what else to say about the cover or anything, other than I found this charm and I was like, that's appropriate, so I just hooked it on the side. I don't know how much I like it there, to be honest. But for the sake of just having something there, I put it there. And then I put this little shaker here on the front, because this book is going to be, like I already talked about, more of like a place where I can document self-care, self-love type of things. There, my camera just went wonky. So I decided to put this little shaker here on the front, just because it's a picture of me whenever I was pregnant with Natasha, and I'm not even that big in this picture, really. I think I got like twice this size. But I put this here because I wanted to remind myself, because right now my biggest issue, if I'm just gonna full disclosure, my biggest issue is the fact that I'm not losing the baby weight as fast as I lost it with Nadia. And I know I'm only 3 months postpartum, so again, seriously, not a big deal. It is not an issue. It's just I already have body issues to begin with, so it doesn't really help whenever you expect to be back to where you were and healthy and exercising. I really love to exercise. It's one of my favorite things to do, and I can't even do that half the time. So I put this on the front to remind myself that this whole theme of this whole book really is one big reminder that the reason for my I don't even want to call it weight gain, because it is and it isn't, but the reason that I'm not exactly as pleased with my appearance right now is for a really, really, really stinking good reason, and it's because I had another beautiful, wonderful baby girl, and worth it. All right, moving on. Let's get on the inside before this turns into a 30-minute video that could last only 10 if I was not gabbing on. So in this front pocket, you saw that I just stuck a bunch of little the cutouts from the collection, which are super cute. I also put a little picture in here of me and Natasha. Again, reminder, worth it. She's so sweet. Okay, so these inserts that I made, this first one that I made, I just printed out multiple different papers from this collection. I had to use the butts again because I'm seriously obsessed with that one. This is like a laminated little tag that's in there. I thought I would use it as a bookmark because I thought it was cute. But I printed out multiple, what am I saying? Papers from the collection so that I could make almost like an insert that's like a smash book sort of. So I put on the front here the self-love thing. I actually used a little chipboard sticker that was from the Maggie Holmes, one of the collections. I can't remember what it's called anymore. What the heck is it? It's this one. Because the sticker was right there. What the heck is this one called again? I don't remember. Flourish. There we go. Thank you. And then I used my label maker to put selfies. So I put self-love selfies because what this is going to be is more of like a smash book where I can document different photos of myself that will, I don't know what it'll do, but I know that I want to put pictures of myself in here and try to document
parts of myself that I want to learn to love. I did not print these double-sided, although I could have easily, but it's because I did actually want the white on the one side so I could do journaling on one side, photo on the other. So that's what this insert is about. I also laminated some of the little ephemera pieces because I wanted to put them on paper clips. So there is that. Fun. All right, so that's the first insert. This next one, don't look too closely because this is actually a mistake. I tried to make like a little shaker pouch thing where I could stick a photo in and stuff, but the lamination started to come undone because I'm pretty certain I did it wrong. But I wanted to keep it anyways. So there's actually just like Scotch tape holding this together, so don't look too closely. But I wanted to make sure I stuck photos in here, or a photo right now, and I'll change it out whenever, of like throughout this whole book. The whole theme is I want to put photos in here that make me remind myself that, like this paperclip says, that I am strong. And this actually is a picture of me screaming Natasha out of my body. So yeah, there's that. I was very adamant about having a natural birth without like pain meds and stuff because I did the pain meds with Nadia and I did not like that. The recovery wasn't good. It was just all around not the best experience. So I was really adamant about having Natasha without anything, and it ended up with me just screaming her into the world, or as I like to say, I roared her out because that sounds a whole lot better. So I wanted to put this picture in here because I specifically remember this moment, and this is the moment where I had one of the hardest, worst, most brutal contractions of the entire experience, and the whole experience was very, very, very like, whoo, you know. Oh, it was intense, man. But this was one of the most intense moments of the entire birth, and I specifically remember it because of my position that I was in. I was having bad back labor, and this is probably for another story. I could probably just share my birth story in another video, but I was having very bad back labor, and Dana's back here pushing on my back. He laughs at this picture because he thinks that it looks whatever. And I was screaming the whole time because it really was just so intense. But I remember in my head, I was just like thinking of all these things, like, you can do this. You have this in you. This is what you're built for. You're good. Like, I was thinking so many thoughts, and I'm really happy that my birth photographer took this photo at this moment because it is one of my most prized, I guess, photographs of me, because I remember feeling, when I came out of it, I felt very, very strong. So there it is. I wanted to put that in here because it's a nice reminder to me of the things that I am capable of and whatever. So there, my little pocket that's all nicely Scotch taped together. This side, I have a photo here of me, actually. Sorry for all of these graphic images. They're not really, but you know how the internet is. Me nursing Natasha, and it's a reminder that I also not only, you know, gave birth to my girls, and my camera just died, so I don't remember what I was saying other than my body was able to nourish her, and that makes me feel, I don't know, loving, I guess, towards myself. I don't know what the heck I'm saying. I just lost my train of thought because my camera died. So, okay. This card here on this side, I made like a little band here that I just stuck across. I laminated a lot of just pieces and then I just stuck them on with the score tape, and I'm telling you, it works really well. So I laminated this card because I love it so much that I just want to keep using it over and over and over. So I thought a good idea for it would be to laminate it and then use a dry erase marker to continuously write reasons why I do love my body. And right now, my reason that I want to continue to focus on is because it grew in birth two of the most wonderful girls in the world. Literally, they are stinking amazing, and I am very, very blessed, and I gotta remember that. All right, moving on. This is another insert, and I just printed out some like graph paper. I had this, I don't know, I had this on my computer. I remember I bought some inserts a long time ago off of Etsy or something. So I just printed out the graph paper one here. Ooh, I gotta speed it up. I gotta save my husband down there. Natasha's been screaming her head off at him all morning. But I printed this out and I put this journaling card on here, and then I used some of the little cut aparts to add some extra little words there. And I'm not sure what I'm going to use this one for yet. Maybe like meal tracker, exercise tracker, how I feel, whatever. I might use it that way, or I might use it completely different. I have no idea yet. But this last one here, I put love letters, because one of the things that Serena actually always tells me, oh look, I printed it upside down. Oh my gosh. It doesn't matter. One of the things that Serena always tells me actually is like whenever I'm having like a bad day or something, she always is so encouraging. Which makes me love this collection even more, because although it is so stinking cute, and even if I didn't know the person who made it, I would be like, ah! The fact that I know whose heart went into this makes it just even more spectacular, because she's just, oh gosh. I'm so grateful to call her one of my best friends, seriously. But anyways, one of the things she always does is she encourages me, and she tells me sometimes, like, you need to write a letter to yourself. You need to write like a love letter to yourself. And that always sticks with me, because so often I could do that for somebody else, but I can't do it for myself. So I thought I would make an insert in here for love letters to myself. And I think that will be quite a, I don't know, an interesting thing to look back on. And when I have bad days or something, I could always, if I don't necessarily feel like writing a letter to myself on that day, I could always go back and read the ones that I have already written. This is so minor, but it is really bothering me that the margin's at the bottom of the page because I printed these wrong. Oh my gosh. Don't, Mary Beth, just don't look at that. It's not a big deal. And then on the back, I just stuck some of the other little like journaling cards and stuff like that so that I can add it in whenever. Oh, another birth photo. Yeah, so, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, that is what I'm going to be using, and I really, really, really enjoyed making this. So, I don't know. I think it's a quick afternoon project. If you have the time to make one of these, you definitely should. It'd be fun to work in it and then show you my progress, and then maybe you could kind of follow along as well. But I think this is the perfect paper collection for stuff like that, just because it's so like uplifting and sweet, and just, again, I just love it so, so much. So please check out Papercakes. Check out Serena's channel. I'm sure she will be sharing a lot of projects and stuff using this as well. I probably will be doing the same, because I'm just really enjoying this, and I will I might update my progress in this, maybe on the Smashbook pages or something like that on Instagram. I'm usually pretty good about showing things on there, more so than here, because it's a lot easier for me to take a picture than take a video. But anyways, I wanted to share this with you, and so I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that maybe this will encourage you to get started on your own self-love, self-care journey with me. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye!